Theory on Donald Trump's assassination attempt going viral. This was the first attempt on a presidential candidate's life since Ronald Reagan in 1981, over 40 years ago. Trump was shot in the ear by 20-year-old kitchen worker Thomas Matthew Crooks. But a theory that Trump staged the shooting to boost his presidential campaign is going viral on social media. This video is circulating on X, which shows the Secret Service sniper scoping the shooter before he shoots Trump. Another viral clip appears to show Crooks on a nearby roof, moments before he takes a shot at the former president. Internet users also mention the agent's slow reaction, and Trump showing a clenched fist at his supporters as a possible PR stunt. But social media analysis company Cyabra found that 45% of profiles on X, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok spreading the theory that the shooter was set up by Trump were fake accounts. Cyabra said the hashtags fake shooting and stage shooting may have been viewed nearly 600 million times. Other wild claims are that the blood on Trump's face was fake and that the firefighter killed in the incident was a sacrifice to make it look realistic. Do you think Trump's assassination attempt was staged?
No, he's not taking.
Yeah, so many people are saying it is staged, but upon deep analysis, it would have been better if we've caught the shooter, So the shooter would have confessed if it was staged or not.
In the presidency. I like having smart people. They're on a new kick. Russia, Ukraine, all the different hoaxes. And the new one is, President Trump has ceded the presidency to Elon Musk. No, that's not happening. But Elon's done an amazing job. Isn't it nice to have smart people that we can rely on? Don't we want that? He's done a great job. But no, he's not going to be president, that I can tell you. And I'm safe. You know why? He can't be. He wasn't born in this country. But the fake news knows that. No, he's a great guy.
So I think what he said is true, because Elon Musk was not born in the US, but from rather South Africa. This really makes it a point of he not being a president in the US.
People out there that don't like. I know you said recently that you were very popular, and I think you said you were the most honest man in the world last week.
I'm a very honest man.
Was that true?
Yeah, I think I'm a very honest man.
But to those who don't like you,
much more honest than you, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm pretty honest.
Because I don't think you're real.
Really?
But yeah, I think I'm a much more honest person in most ways, in most respects.
Why am I not real?
But we're not going to get into that. Let's finish up the interview. Go ahead.
No,
Go ahead.
Wow.
I'm a retired.
That is serious. What is that man behind Trump, and why has he made his eyes that way? If you have an idea on this or whom he is, please drop it at the comment section.
Secret Service agent, and this coincidence has piqued my interest. On November 15th of 2022, former President Trump made an announcement that he was going to seek the Republican nomination in the 2024 presidential election. During the next 606 days after he made that announcement, former President Trump traveled the United States and had numerous campaign stops and visits in many cities. All of these locations visited by former President Trump, he had Secret Service protection, but he didn't have the full arsenal of the Secret Service. In Butler, Pennsylvania, on July 13th of 2024, it'll be the first time in the presidential 2024 campaign cycle that the United States Secret Service will deploy counter snipers as an asset in the protection of former President Trump. It's a good thing that they made the decision to use the Secret Service counter snipers for the first time that day, because as we know, at this campaign site, there was an assassination attempt on former President Trump, and the United States Secret Service counter snipers had to eliminate the threat.
Former President Donald Trump just surrendered at the notorious Fulton County Jail in Atlanta. Trump booked, processed on 13 charges, including conspiracy and racketeering related to attempts to overturn the 2020 election. Like all other people who walked through the doors of that jail, the former president was fingerprinted, had his weight and height recorded, and a mugshot was taken. The seriousness of this cannot be overstated because for the first time in American history, we will soon see a mugshot of someone who was once the leader of the free world. Trump joins 11 of his co-defendants in turning himself in. Just hours ago, former White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows surrendered at the same jail. The remaining 7 have until noon tomorrow to do the same.
Donald Trump.
But guys, so if he really opened himself and surrendered to jail, then this shows that personally there's that kind of, he's honest. That's what I say, it right. But now he's no more in jail. It's not a precedent.
Is telling people he will be brought back as president by August because he's been listening to a bunch of insane conspiracy theory people. I want all of you to remember this video, and at the end of August, when he's still at his vacation home in Florida, I want you to remember how fucking nuts he is.
Okay, so it is the same conspiracy story that has made him a president today. So now, who's not the president guy? It's him.
Can you tell me why so many people that support Donald Trump love conspiracy theories, including yourself? He seems to attract lots of conspiracy theorists.
Well, let me tell you, you're a conspiracy theorist, and the left and the media spreads more conspiracy theories. We like the truth. We like supporting our Constitution, our freedoms, and America first. So,
what about Jewish space lasers? Tell us about Jewish space lasers.
No, why don't you go talk about Jewish space lasers? And really, why don't you fuck off? How about that?
Thanks. Thank you very much.
There's a theory that Donald Trump's son is a time traveler.
There's proof?
There's a book that came out. It's called The Last President. In the book, the main character, his name is Barron. He has a mentor and he teaches him about time travel. His mentor is named Don. Donald Trump's son is named Barron Trump. He has a mentor named Don, just like Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Donald Trump's great-grandfather, he was part of the FBI team that confiscated and took all of Nikola Tesla's inventions, blueprints, and wiped his whole house. Obviously, there was rumors all the time about he was onto some next technology with frequency and maybe even time travel. This book was written in 1869.
So
it's called The Last President.
So they found this book.
No, this book has been published long time ago.
Oh.
It's just weird that it matches up, and it's called The Last President. You could say the new president, he's kind of, people are saying like he's a robot or whatever. He doesn't seem like he's all there.
No, Trump's been like too calm since he got voted out the office. It's like he knows like he's gonna be back.
No, yeah.
CNN.
Guys, so I want to verify that that book really exists. Because I went online, personally myself, Google about that book, but I have no idea. Has anyone been able to read that book to really discover what they're saying? Let me know your thoughts at the comment section, please.
Edited a video to make it appear as though Trump impatiently dumped a box of fish food into the water in Japan. The full video showed Trump had simply followed the lead of Japan's prime minister. In June 2017, NBC News reported that Russian President Putin said he had compromising information about Trump. Actually, Putin said the opposite.
Do you have something damaging on our president?
Well, this is just another load of nonsense. Where would we get this information?
The New York Times and CNN shared a story with photos of immigrant children in cages. It turns out the photos were from 2014, during the Obama administration. In November 2019, Newsweek falsely reported that President Trump was spending Thanksgiving golfing in Florida. He was actually in Afghanistan serving dinner to U.S. troops. CBS aired a story in March of 2020, supposedly showing a New York hospital crowded with patients.
It's all hands on deck in America's hospitals.
It was actually file tape from Italy. A week later, CBS News mistakenly used the Italy video again. In May...
So guys, you can really see that the way the media is trying to frame a whole thing, like they're trying to use the same news to falsificate against Donald Trump. You can see that so many things they said about him, they are all fake news and they are all twisted by the media.
The BBC and The Guardian reported because Trump wasn't wearing headsets, he didn't bother to listen to the translation of a speech by Italy's prime minister. But Trump was wearing his earpiece in his right ear, as always, said the White House. Newsweek reported Poland's first lady refused to shake Trump's hand, but later acknowledged she did.
Good to see you.
Can you comment on the drones that are flying around New Jersey ports? It seems like the American people have a big disconnect.
The government knows what is happening. Look, our military knows where they took off from. If it's a garage, they can go right into that garage. They know where it came from and where it went. And for some reason, they don't want to comment. And I think they'd be better off saying what it is. Our military knows and our president knows. And for some reason, they want to keep people in suspense. I can't imagine it's the enemy, because if it was the enemy, they'd blast it out. Even if they were late, they'd blast it. Something strange is going on. For some reason, they don't want to tell the people, and they should, because the people are really, I mean, they happen to be over Bedminster. Want to know the truth. They're very close to Bedminster. I think maybe I won't spend the weekend in Bedminster. I've decided to cancel my trip.
Have you received an intelligence briefing on the drones?
I don't want to comment on that.
Have you been?
Do you have any reason to think they're a threat?
Guys, so I heard that for the drones, I heard it was just designed to read the radar. That's what, when I googled, that's what I got. But if it is just there to read the radar, why are the drones so many? But if you know the reason, let me know your thoughts in the comment section, please.
Did you know that a secret group of elites supposedly controls everything around us? According to the QAnon conspiracy theory, powerful politicians and celebrities are running a global child trafficking ring. But what's even more shocking, believers claim that former President Donald Trump was quietly working to bring them down and expose the so-called deep state. It all started in 2017 when mysterious posts from someone known only as Q began appearing online. These posts hinted at a hidden battle between good and evil, with Trump as the unlikely hero. But why would anyone believe this? Some followers point to the cryptic messages and claim insider knowledge that Q supposedly revealed, predicting high-profile arrests and secret operations. As the theory spread, it became more than just an online rumor. So what happens when people start taking these beliefs into the real world? Some QAnon supporters have been involved in protests, even violent acts, believing they're part of a larger mission to save the world from these elites. But the predictions from Q never came true, raising questions about whether the whole thing was just a hoax. Years later, QAnon continues to influence a small but vocal group. So is it all a dangerous fantasy, or is there something they know that we don't? The next time you hear about QAnon, you might wonder, how far can a conspiracy theory really go?
It says that you have debts of approximately $421 million that you have personally guaranteed and that will come due in the next 4 years. The question is, on behalf of voters, who do you owe $421 million
First of all,
to?
let me answer. What they did is illegal, number one. Also, the numbers are all wrong with the numbers they released. And just so you understand, when you have a lot of real estate, I have real estate, you know a lot of it, okay? Right down the road, Doral, big stuff, great stuff. I'm when I decided to run, I'm very under-levered, fortunately, but I'm very under-levered. I have a very, very small percentage of debt compared, in fact, some of it I did as favors to institutions that wanted to loan me money. $400 million compared to the assets that I have, all of these great properties all over the world.
As much as people want to hate Donald Trump is the closest thing to how our presidential policy or process was supposed to work since like the forefathers themselves.
What? Why?
Because he's not a professional politician. He is a business person who is stepping out of business to sacrifice 4 years of his life in office or 8 years of his life in office. And then he's supposed to leave and go back to contributing to business. That's how our country was built. That's what the forefathers wanted. They wanted successful business people, successful entrepreneurs, successful executives, successful doctors and attorneys and everything else. They wanted them to be successful in their career, run for office, win the election based on the people, represent the people's needs for a term limit, and then step out of office and go right back into their job, right? What did George Washington do? That's how it was supposed to work. We fucked that system up, dude, and we became driven by professional politics. We became expert marketers and calling ourselves campaigners instead. So we, the American people, have to take some freaking ownership of how fucked up our government is. Because when we don't pay attention, when we don't vote, when we don't get off our ass to go to every electoral registration or every poll, we're just entrenching the current process more and more.
So guys, I think he's correct, because Donald Trump is a businessman, and I think, you see, when businessmen rule, they tend to make business decisions, and this really helps every country because it will bring more jobs, and they also understand how to negotiate. Let's remember, it's very, very important. So let's see what Trump is going to do in the 4 years to come. Whoa. Is there a wig that he's wearing? Oh my God.
Donald Trump is now saying that it would be a great idea to make Canada America's 51st state. He posted on Truth Social saying, "No one can answer why we subsidize Canada to the tune of over $100 million a year. Makes no sense." He then added, "Many Canadians want Canada to become the 51st state. They would save massively on taxes and military protection. I think it is a great idea. 51st state! Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark."
Breaking. I think it is also a very good idea, because if Canada becomes the 51st state, then I believe there are so many support that they can give to America, and there are so many benefits as well. As the lady said, it will be military support, and it will be better paying more taxes, and this will help the U.S. economy so much.
News as the mainstream media tries hard to build division between Elon and Trump, calling him the real president or the vice president. This CNN panel gets destroyed.
Is this going to work then with Donald Trump? I don't think so. I mean, look, they appear to be getting along well. Musk was very instrumental in his victory, and I hear Democrats, criticizing the idea that we have unelected people with too much influence over the government. I invite them to pick up the Wall Street Journal from this week and find out that unelected people have been running the government for the last 4 years. I hear Democrats criticizing the influence of billionaires on our politics when you've got this Soros punk running around collecting Democrat politicians like my kids collect Pokemon cards. So I think all the criticism of Musk coming from the left is totally hypocritical, totally over the top, and he is doing something interesting, bringing some transparency to the federal government. It's not a terrible thing, but it's
There you go. Join me on Discord to talk about it.
So I interviewed jet pilots that say they saw something. If you saw them, you'd love to have them.
I've had a couple in here. Commander David Fravor,
Yeah.
I had him in, who had that sighting in 2004. Very, very compelling with visual
compelling.
video evidence, radar evidence.
I interviewed
Brian Graves.
I don't believe his name, but I interviewed jet pilots that were solid people. Perfect. I mean, great pilots, great everything. And they said, we saw things, sir, that were very strange. Like a round ball, but it wasn't a comet or a meteor. It was something. And it was going 4 times faster than an F-22, which is a very fast plane, And it was round, which is, in theory, a great shape.
So when you were talking to these people, was this something that you were compelled to have conversations about? Was this your personal interest?
A little bit. It's not a great interest for me, but it's a little interest. Get that question as much as almost any question. Do you think that we have aliens coming, flying around or whatever?
What do you think?
There's no reason not to. I mean, there's no reason not to think that Mars and all these planets don't have life, because
Mars, we've had probes there and rovers,
yeah,
and I don't think there's any life there.
Well, maybe it's life that we don't know, but maybe
there was life there at one point in time.
Do you think that?
Yes, I like what really Trump said about Mars. He says that there are life there that we have no idea of. Yeah, and I think it's making a very crucial point, because why do we have all these planets and claim there's no life on it? The life, maybe we are here to understand that the life on those planets that we think they are vacant. They are not. Now, Trump really made a point right there.
We have aliens come, flying around or whatever.
What do you think?
There's no reason not to. I mean, there's no reason not to think that Mars and all these planets don't have life. I interviewed jet pilots that were solid people. Perfect. I mean, great pilots, great everything. And they said, we saw things, sir, that were very strange. Like a round ball, but it wasn't a comet or a meteor. And it was going 4 times faster than an F-22, which is a very fast plane, And it was round, which is in theory a great shape. Area 51 or whatever it is, I think it's the #1 tourist attraction in the whole country or something. Area 51 in Las Vegas. Do you know that, right?
Sure, I know what it is. This is the speculation about Mars, that Mars had an atmosphere at one point in time, a long time ago, that could support life. It also had large bodies of water, but we've had no evidence of even bacterial life that exists on Mars.
Are aliens real?
You don't talk about aliens.
I'm not a big alien person. I got enough things going without worrying about it. But I'll tell you what, you have a lot of smart people that think that, there happens to be a certain site that's the #1 most visited site in the whole country. You know that,
What's
right?
that?
Where they think the aliens come down. And
I haven't been on that.
I'll tell you about it after the show.
Wow, so you are aware, guys. So for Donald Trump trying to come clean, he has already come clean and made a point saying that he has interviewed others and they have really come clean that aliens exist. Now, there are so many truths out there, and at times, you see, there's always a glimpse of truth in every conspiracy. So I believe this is his opinion, and that is the opinion from others, guys. So thank you very much for watching the video. Remember, click on the like button and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.